You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
So we're now joined with Jaye, and she's a freelance writer. She's looking to work with people here on the island. Firstly, thank you very much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
Now, I do understand actually you're looking to work with people and organisations here on the island and in Swale. Could you tell us more about that?
Yep, I want to write about interesting local people doing interesting things locally. There are a lot of community-spirited people out there, and I feel they deserve some credit and publicity for the time they give to making their communities a better place. There's so much going on at the grassroots, and yet there's general consensus at Swale, and Medway suffers a similar problem, that there's nothing of value here. Hence people outside of North Kent don't see an issue with building an airport, for example. They think we live in some kind of physically and culturally deserted wasteland, but those for scratching the surfaces. We've found organisations like Full Frontal, projects like Urban Fringe, and we want to ensure that the wider community find out about them too and know that they can be involved and value their environment.
Now, I understand that you're involved with Restore Rochester Castle.
Rochester Castle really is the heart of the town, and it does desperately need restoring. We want to put a roof back on it to prevent any more damage internally, and then we can begin to think about floors and ultimately open it all up to the public for educational purposes, functions, weddings and so on. We believe it could then pay for its own upkeep. It's such an icon, and it's a project that would probably be the first community of doers I became involved with. Three locals having a chat in a pub, realising they shared the same aim and concerns about Rochester Castle. They set up the campaign group to raise awareness nearly 3 years ago, and this year we achieved the charity status, so we can really get things moving now.
We are at the moment talking to Jaye. She's a freelance writer looking to work with groups and organisations here on the island. So we are at the moment talking to Jaye. She's a freelance writer looking to work with groups and organisations here on the island and Swale. We're talking to her a little bit about other things she's involved in at the moment. Now, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Rochester Literature Festival as well.
The idea for a literature festival was something that had been incubating for a while in the heads of three separate writers, myself, storyteller Philip Kane and Emma Dewhurst, who publishes Wow magazine. We mentioned it aloud, and within a few weeks we'd begun to meet and organise the launch event, a garden poetry party, which completely exceeded our expectations and has given us confidence to move forward with plans for a larger festival next October. We'll be hosting fringe events before then, building on our audience and getting more people involved, not just from Rochester, but from the wider Kent community too. We're keen on working with other festivals, such as Wise Words, the Faversham Festival, of course, and we're sure that the cross-pollination of these will benefit all of us in bringing literature to a bigger audience. The next event is a smaller, more workshop-type event on October the 7th, and that will be held in a co-working space in Rochester called Co Forward.
Now, actually, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself and also Co Forward.
Co Forward is a wonderful community-orientated space who are very supportive in letting us hold our LitFest meetings there and also the workshop event. It's a space you participate in, and no one has a specific role. If you see something needs doing, then you take the initiative and you do it. The community support it financially, but it's not a serviced office space as such. It's somewhere that ideas take shape and collaborations form. It's an exciting place to be involved with, because the people there are a microcosm of the Medway and Swale people I'm looking to write about, movers and shakers doing lots of interesting stuff.
We are at the moment talking to Jaye right here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show. So we are talking to Jaye at the moment. She's a freelance writer, and she's looking to work with groups and organisations here on the island and Swale. Now, we're talking a little bit about Co Forward. How can our listeners find out more about that?
The best way to experience Co Forward is to start where most of the participants did, with the Tuttle Coffee Morning, where like-minded people meet up for a coffee and a chat. It's not your usual networking event. You won't need a business card, more a mind open to possibilities. There is a website where you can read more about it and sign up to the mailing list to receive details for the next one, and that's coforward.org, and it's spelt COFWD.org. There's upcoming evening event called Tipple, which is basically an evening equivalent for people who are at work during the daytime, because Tuttle is a coffee morning. There is one of the Tipple events coming up soon in Rochester on the 27th of September, and you'll be able to find more details on the website about that.
I also understand there's something about a film.
Co Forward have actually just released a short half-hour film capturing the essence of Co Forward and Tuttle from the community involved. Yes, so do check that out, as it will give you a real feel for what's happening there. If you'd like to contact me in respect of me telling your stories or getting involved with the community, my website is jayenolan.com, which is JAYENOLAN.com, or you can contact me on 07904 643 770.
Thank you very much for speaking to us and telling us all about what you're doing at the moment.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.